What is up, ladies and gentlemen of the online Jamily? This, of course, here is JamiroFan 2000 with a new episode of JamiroFan Talks About. For those who are uninitiated about this series, this has been my recurring series here on my channel where I've been taking a bit of a discussionary approach by looking at the past, present, and future of Jamiroquai, and they're now nearly over 30 years of music making in the music industry. As I said in the last episode of JamiroFan Talks About, I was going to be doing two episodes looking at old school Jamiroquai fans and new school Jamiroquai fans, or at least new Jamiroquai fans. And I think I did a pretty good job on the first one, but now I'm going to be looking at new Jamiroquai fans. And we have seen, probably with the demographics of the members of the Jamily, a massive influx of new Jamiroquai fans have come in during the new sound era of Jamiroquai, which, you know, to many people, the old sound Jamiroquai and the new sound Jamiroquai eras are kind of differing. Some people like to start the new song era at Synchronized, and some want to start it at Traveling Mountain Moving. But for me, I kind of started it at probably a Funk Odyssey. That's where I kind of start the whole new sound of Jamiroquai, going more EDM influence, more Ableton Live, more electronic, more synth. And a lot of new music, this big influx of new Jamiroquai fans are very relatively new. This big new influx of members of the Jamily have actually not been older, but actually younger, which is kind of interesting because I'm kind of gauging this by all the activity I've currently seen on Facebook on new members of the Jamiroquai Jamily coming in and making a bit of a social media presence. Now, as I said in the last episode of JamiroFan Talks About, I do think that hardcore music fans of any band, in this case the Jamily, like me and many other Jamily members from around the world who have decided to take one step further, doing a lot of social media conscience, a lot of social media activity, and helping music fans get acclimated about Jamiroquai and have them, you know, decide to come into the fan base and make a contribution or whatever. But new fans are kind of at a very good point right now, at least in this time with Jamiroquai having been around for nearly 30 years. New fans of Jamiroquai are very lucky because Jamiroquai has a hell of a back catalog of singles, albums, rarities, live tracks to discover. And like I said in the last episode of JamiroFan Talks About, the discovery factor of music appreciation is so freaking magical, and it's so amazing because, like I said, if you decide to subscribe past the mainstream interpretation of a band, and what I mean by mainstream is just, oh yeah, they're known for this one song, and that's it. There's no other addendum. There's no alliteration. There is no even great detail about it. But if you can get past that point of a mainstream, you know, acknowledgement, you might say, if you can get past virtual insanity and go and listen to the band and listen to all the music, it's like a good onion. There's a lot of good layers to it. And every new song you hear can either be exciting, interesting, or you can be indifferent. It depends on what your musical tastes are. And like I said in the last episode, people have varying musical taste evolutions as they get older and older. But like I said, you young, new Jamiroquai fans who get into the band either by a recommendation or by Spotify discovery or by however you discover Jamiroquai, you are in for a very good roller coaster ride of discovery. Not to mention, Jamiroquai is not just a band that sticks to one genre or one subgenre or one sound like a lot of these other pop acts that are all very ice tray. And what I mean by ice tray is you pour water in the ice tray, you put it in the freezer, you freeze it for 2 hours, you got ice. That's what I mean by it, because there are some bands and artists who kind of stick to a template and they don't get out of their comfort zone. They just stick to that template because they're either trying to build a fan base, or it's convenient for them. It's easy music that they can make on the spot within the confines of a computer or whatever, and just put it out, you know, and keep doing the same thing over and over again. But some artists like Jamiroquai don't like to do that. They like to change things up. They like to stay fresh. They like to do new things. And if anything I've learned from Jamiroquai for over nearly 30 years, the band surprises me all the darn time. And it's not just discoveries on the spot, like say a new single or anything. These are discoveries that come after repeated listens. I mean, the amazing thing about Jamiroquai's music that caught a lot of us Jamiroquai fans off guard is how layered the music is and how much they used to call them secret sounds online. And this is basically just little tidbits of little breadcrumbs in each Jamiroquai song that had like there's a percussion thing here I did not hear before. Oh, there's a vocal here I didn't hear before. There is a lot of discoveries you can make within the discography of Jamiroquai that makes it a much more amazing experience, at least for the uninitiated of music fans. And I think that's one of the greatest gifts you get as a music fan. And us old school Jamiroquai fans who help those new Jamiroquai fans coming along, who get to discover all this stuff that we already know about but they haven't discovered, like I said, you are in for a hell of a great, rewarding experience when you get into Jamiroquai and you listen to everything. You don't just go, okay, I'll listen to this one album over time. If you can listen to everything, if you take the time, if you put in the work, you will discover all the amazing stuff that Jamiroquai has to offer in their music and their lyrics and everything that comes with that band. And like I said, I am, as an old school Jamiroquai fan and a bit of a hardcore fan, I am kind of jealous because there are not a lot of bands that are as multifaceted and multi-layered as Jamiroquai is, and I kind of miss that feeling of being able to discover new bands that just stir my soul and stir my spirit, and I can just go in and go, oh, I haven't heard this and I haven't heard this, and it's just like it's like a sampler platter. You just sample everything and you start becoming really a fan of that band and you start becoming emotionally invested in it. You know, I kind of miss that about the early days of my being a member of the Jamly back in the mid to late 90s when I started being part of the online community for the Jamly. So I kind of do miss that. And for any of you lovely people who have been watching my videos here on YouTube and never listened to Jamiroquai, I hope you do the work. I hope you put in the time, you discover their music, and just discover the rich tapestry that is of Jamiroquai's catalog of music, because they are one of the most important bands out there right now, one of the most influential bands, and not to mention my passion personally. But I thought I'd record 2 JamiroFan Talks About episodes, which since I haven't recorded in a while, to just look at old school Jamiroquai fans and new school Jamiroquai fans, and try to do a bit of a mental deep dive on my opinions about both segments of fans, because like I said, it's a rich community that has been built out of the Jamly, at least in an online sense, and I take my position, at least being a bit of a go-between and a bit of a reporter about the latest news about Jamiroquai and the band members and everything going on with them, very, very personally, and I look forward to helping you all stay informed with what's happening with Jamiroquai and what's coming down the pipeline from them musically. But I hope you enjoyed this episode of JamiroFan Talks About. If you like this video, be sure to like and subscribe, and be sure to ding the bell on your YouTube page to stay up to date on all the latest new content coming from the JamiroFan 2000 YouTube channel. Like I said, these are times that are very, very uncertain. We don't know when the bands are going to go back to touring. We don't know when the band's going to go back to the studio and get alone work on the next album. But hopefully it'll be coming very, very soon as these inoculations start making their way around the world, and everybody can get the vaccine, and then we can all somehow alter our lives back to a little bit of normalcy. But I do hope that everybody is hanging in out there and is doing all right, But as always, this is JamiroFan 2000. I'll see you again with more content here on the JamiroFan 2000 YouTube channel, and most importantly, everybody, stay safe. Thanks for watching.